So the first song we did together was Peace for Four, and I thought it sounded really cool. I really liked the ideas that he brought to the song, to the music, and I thought there was potential to do a lot more interesting things together. And one day I said to Gav, I said, you know what, I'm going to have my music performed by an actual symphonic orchestra. That was around 2015, 2016. I went to the Czech Republic, a place called Ostrava, and I had the Janacek Symphonic Orchestra who actually performed my music that morning. It was a 3-hour session, and they recorded about 15 minutes of music. That was a really great experience. So I came back to the UK with that music, and Gavin said, how did this session go? I said, it went really well. So I sent him the music, and very shortly after, he sent me some drums he had recorded over that music. So that was the birth of that project, where really we found, okay, we found something that I think will work well together, and the idea was really to go into a very unexplored, kind of eclectic world of combining drums, electric bass, and kind of different sonic textures. Soon after that music was recorded, I started to explore with the idea of chamber music mixed with drums and bass. So I arranged a lot of my music for string quartet, the traditional string quartet. And this really was the balance of the album that became Chemical Reactions. Chemical Reactions came out towards the end of 2020, and that album did very well in my world. It was definitely different from what I'd done before and what Gavin had done, and people were pretty open-minded. I had some really interesting feedback that, yeah, keep doing that stuff, it's really interesting. So that kept me motivated to continue in that respect. Soon after the album was released, I started to work on new music. Then Gavin got really busy with Porcupine Tree because the band reformed and went on a lengthy tour. He got also very busy with Pineapple Thief. Only recently, so towards the end of 2023, Gavin managed to re-explore all the music I had worked on during all that time.
So this new record with Antoine, it's actually been in the making for quite a few years. Since we finished the last record, Chemical Reactions, you know, we've been talking about a new project, using some unusual instrumentation, and with Antoine's compositions, there's always something interesting in the, you know, the time signatures and the grooves. So from my point of view as a drummer, I'm always trying to find a really nice rhythmic solution that fits the composition and makes sense with the other instruments, and, you know, still functions as a groove and still has a nice rhythmic texture to it.
So the concept for this album was really to keep pushing the boundaries of what we can do musically, Gavin and I. Not to repeat the same formula that we had done in the first album, and really keep trying to work with different collaborators, different instruments, and really see where we can go with it. To explore and not repeat the same arrangement from one song to the next. So I really made an effort to that each song of the album would be completely unique and feature a different orchestration from the previous songs. There's a lot of classical guitar on the album, and it's an instrument that I compose on and I've performed for the album. And also there's some piano. There weren't any piano or classical guitar in Chemical Reaction, so already I was trying to find new sound palettes I could work with. There's some saxophone, there's a brass ensemble on a few songs, and there's even some handpans, which is an interesting instrument. I think the aim of this project is really to really put Gavin and myself into a different kind of a sonic environment and see where we can go with it.
I met Antoine, this was on a cruise ship. I think it would have been summer of '98. Of course, he's a great player. And so that's where I started getting turned on to some of his music and some of his bass stuff. During the pandemic, he contacted me and asked me if I wanted to record some tracks. This was all on trombone. and that worked out pretty good. I had to buy some equipment and all that. Dark Wind was the first tune that I did for Antoine. I did 3 different trombone parts. Okay, so 15-16 time. Within that 15-16, it's not even the same groove every time. You can actually have maybe at least 2 or 3 different grooves. You know, I was always kind of a math head, so I was pretty good with numbers and stuff like that, even as a kid. I didn't run into that kind of odd meter stuff too much in jazz, but was exposed to it in classical music in college. Of course, we studied, you know, Bela Bartok and Stravinsky and stuff like that. So before that, you know, me being a math head, I certainly tackled all that stuff. I mean, I'm not saying I mastered it or anything, but I wasn't afraid of it. One of the things that fascinated me about that tune, how the way I thought of it is the first groove that starts out is almost like a 4/4, but the 4th beat of the bar is just a little bit short. It's 1/16 short. You got that first groove, and then it just all of a sudden that sort of 4/4 with a short 4th beat. All of a sudden, that all turns into like the, you know, triplet 5. Now, you know, then now you got the straight 15. It's like a straight 5, you know, divided into triplets.
Most of my music, whichever project I work on, is composed on the guitar, whether it's electric guitar, classical guitar. That's really my main tool to compose music. But for this project, I also use the piano. It's not an instrument I'm really good at, but differently from other projects, I really started to compose more music on the piano.
Well, what I think about Antoine's project, it's always a challenge. Metrically, harmonically, and he's got always these melodic contour with big leaps and stuff, so it's a good challenge. It puts me, you know, on the line, and it's pretty good. I enjoy it very much.
Acá Reinaldo Cando, es un gusto comentarles que ya está listo el disco de mi amigo Antoine Fafard, en el cual estuve participando en 2 temas geniales, progresivos, súper interesantes, Dark Wind y Viral Information. En esos temas toqué vibráfono y también marimba. Espero de verdad que los disfruten, fue un gran placer y bueno, el disco completo está increíble. Gracias, Antoine.
And then, you know, why don't I record some tracks on trumpet also on the next tune? That was, I believe, Spontaneous Plan was the second tune. And, you know, so I did 3 bone tracks and 3 trumpet tracks. You know, even though I started on trumpet as a kid, I went through almost my entire working lifetime as a trombone player until just the last few years. And in fact, the tracks that I recorded, those are the only recorded tracks I've ever done on trumpet in my lifetime. And, you know, I've had enough chops to be able to get through that. I mean, it was a lot of fun. This kind of music is not like anything else that I'm doing. And it reminds me of, it's sort of like a cross of Stanley Clarke, Jaco Pastorius, Weather Report, and Don Ellis. I enjoyed playing both instruments. The trumpet, like I said, I'm glad I had a chance to do some recording on trumpet here. We were able to multi-track and you know, get like punching in and punching out kind of stuff, which I had my share of experience with that, so I had no trouble working all that out. It's a case of playing trumpet, especially, you know, if I start cracking a whole lot of notes or something like that, well, there's no harm done. You just, you know, just record it over. And then the one tune that has like a high G on the end, it sounds like I really nailed the high G. Nobody has to know that maybe I took, you know, 15 shots at it. You know, nobody has to know that.
I'm super happy to be part of this project. Antoine decided to include my instruments. They're called handpans. He was intrigued by the sound of handpans and he said, why not using them in this song? It was so much fun. It was very challenging too, because lots of different time signatures and polyrhythms are used, and it's amazing effect. It's top music production, extraordinary musicianship, and I'm super proud to be part of this. Thank you everyone involved, and enjoy!
Hello guys, this is Ellie Stoll from Germany. I follow the art of Antoine now for quite a long time, and I really love what he's doing. So I feel very, very honored that he asked me to participate in his latest album together with the drummer Gavin, and I really hope you will love this song as much as I do.
Hi, I'm Joasha and I'm a cellist, and I recorded on upcoming Antoine's album, and I think you should be listening to it, especially if you like jazz, progressive rock and polyrhythmic music. Then this is your genre, this is your music, so check it out. And on top of it, I would like to say big thank you to Graham, who connected me with Antoine and for whom I will be forever grateful.
So this project has been a lot of fun, and I hope you get a chance to check it out and enjoy it as we have.